Hello reception, welcome to your online learning and your understanding the world lessons. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas holiday and that you are looking forward to doing a little bit of learning from home. I hope that we can bring you a little bit of excitement with some science experiments as you're doing some of your learning at home. Today we're going to start off by having a little think about the seasons. Which season do you think we're in at the moment? Over the Christmas break, it got very cold. I had to wear my scarf, I had to put a hat on, I had to put my gloves on. Every time I stepped outside, I could feel the cold. Which season do you think it might be? You may have got it right. It is winter. In the winter time, the temperature drops quite low, and sometimes so low that it was about 0 degrees during December, but it can get even colder than 0 degrees. Wow. Now, winter is a beautiful time of year, and in this country it happens during the end of December and from January and through until it becomes the springtime. So we've got a little bit of winter left. To start off our exploration of the winter season, we're going to begin with a little poem. The poem is called January. That is the month we are in at the moment, January. It's the first month of the year, and we're in a new year, aren't we? Does anybody know which year it is? It's 2021. Wow. So January. Little January tapped at my door today and said, "Put on your winter wraps and come outdoors to play." Little January is always full of fun. Today we coasted down the hill until the set of sun. Little January will stay a month with me, and we will have such jolly times. Just come along and see. For our science experiment, we're going to begin by looking at a liquid. I'm going to show you a liquid I have ready. In a jar, I poured some water and a little bit of food colouring so that you can see it. It's liquid. If I wobble it a bit, it moves. Can you see? And if I take a bit with a spoon and drip it, it falls. Can you hear it dripping back into the jar? There we go. It's liquid. It falls, it moves, it changes shape quite easily. Can you think of any other liquids? I'm thinking of something inside my fridge. The milk in the milk carton. I can pour it into my cup. Orange juice, water. Even in my bathroom, I've got a little bit of bubble bath, and when I squeeze the bottle, out the liquid comes. Here I have a pine cone, and I wonder if you can guess what might happen if I put the pine cone in the jar of water. Can you predict what might happen? That means to guess and have a think about what might happen. Will it sink? Will it float? Or will it just sit right up at the top and bump? Because my water is in a liquid form, will it sink or will it sit on the top? Let's have a go. It's sunk. Can you see it? It's gone through to the bottom of the jar. Because my water is liquid, things can move through it. This time, I have frozen some water overnight in my freezer. It's not a liquid anymore. what has it become? It is solid and it is now ice. Let's do the same experiment with our pine cone. Will the pine cone move through the ice, or will the pine cone fall and land on the ice? Have a little think. What's your prediction? Okay, let's see. There it is. It's landed on top of the ice. The ice is a solid, so it can't move through the ice. The pine cone sits on top of it. Ice and water are different forms. The ice is solid. Can you hear? I can tap it. But the water was liquid. Let's have a look at this photograph. This is something that happens when it gets very, very cold outside. Can you see where the ice is? I wonder if you know what this is called. Here is another photograph of these beautiful forms. If you haven't guessed already, they are icicles. Icicles form when it's very cold outside and it may have snowed, and the sun might shine and the sun melts the snow, and the snow turns into liquid, and as it falls it drips and then it freezes in midair. It creates what we call beautiful icicles. I know a very lovely story where there are lots of icicles. I think some of you really love this story as well. Let's have a look at some pictures. I think you might know where this picture is from. This is the forest of Arundel from the film Frozen. The icicles have formed in curtains all around. It is freezing in the forest. The icicles are beautiful. Can you see the shapes they have made? And here are our characters standing in the forest. Icicles are all around them. Sven even has icicles hanging off his antlers. The liquid water turned into snow, a solid, then melted and turned into a liquid, and then turned back into ice, a solid again. I wonder if we can come up with some solutions. Can we help save the forest from an eternal winter? Can we help melt the ice? What can we do? Now, here we have a little Arundel forest to help us. Let's take a look. Here is our frozen forest. Some animals are stuck in the ice. A Gruffalo's stuck in the ice. Look, there he is. We've got even a tree stuck in the ice. These huge chunks of ice need to melt. What can we do to help it melt more quickly? 15 minutes later, the ice has started melting. You can see it's liquid at the bottom. If I move it, you can see the ripples in the water. But there's still quite a lot of solid ice. It's slowly breaking down and melting. But there's still a long way to go. At home, you could try our science experiment to come up with some solutions to help save the frozen forest from an eternal winter. How could you help melt the ice? What do we need to warm up the ice to help it melt more quickly? Could you move your forest to somewhere that's warmer? If you want to have a go, you'll need some containers, you'll need a freezer, so if you have one you can have a go at this, and you will need some water. If you'd like to add anything else, you could put objects in the water before you freeze it and then see how long it takes for the ice to melt. You'll need to leave it in the freezer for a little time, maybe overnight, and in the morning you can have a go. You could even create your own forest like Arundel. I would love to see any videos you have of your wonderful ice work and ice experiments, and you can tell me any wonderful facts you discover on the way. Have fun, and I look forward to seeing all your lovely ideas.